Hey, what's going on, YouTube family and friends? This is Bear Brown. Thanks for coming to my garden channel today, where I'm here helping you grow something tasty. All right, today's video is geared for beginning gardeners. All right, so if you are thinking about trying to start a garden, but you don't have any ideas of where you should start, or if you got a small area, or if you just want to use a smaller area in your backyard. If you don't have a backyard, or if you live in an apartment and you only have a balcony, we are going to talk about all that. All right, so the first method of gardening that you can use if you have the space, you can do a raised bed garden. All right, so the raised bed garden can be made out of many different pieces of material. You can use bricks, you can use cinder blocks, you can use, a lot of people use wood, and there also are options where you can use a tin garden, the tin raised bed. That's what I'm thinking about doing next. All right, so right behind me is a raised bed that I made out of pine wood. So let's check it out. All right, so just like I said, this is made out of pine wood. You can go to Lowe's to get your wood, and they will cut it for you. And this raised bed, just like that raised bed over there that I made, it was hit pretty bad by the that winter blast, but now my collard greens are starting to come back. All right, so you can have your own food. I grew all this from seed. All right, so the raised bed does not take that much work to put together, but I know some people are still probably saying, well, I'm not good with my hands. And one thing that we do, we get to put the soil that we would like in here. So if your yard is made of a poor soil with the raised bed, another benefit is we're gonna put all of the soil in the raised bed that we need. All right, now I know some that are beginners may say, well, I don't know how to make a raised bed because I'm not good with my hands. All right, now I went to Lowe's the day before yesterday just to see. I don't know what they call them, but they have these little blocks that you can set on the ground, and you can slide boards in it. So when you slide your boards down, you can make your raised bed. The raised bed behind me is a 4x8. If you go to Lowe's, you can go get the lumber, have them cut a 16-foot slab of lumber in two, so you have your two 8-foot pieces. You'll slide them down into the joint of the grooves, just like seen right here. The joints, you don't have to screw anything in. Everything is done just by you sliding all the pieces together, so you don't have to worry about any drills, you don't have to worry about any screws or anything like that. No nails, just good to go. And I wish I would have seen that years ago. I don't know how long, they probably had them a long time ago, but this is an awesome way to go. So all you do, like I said, slide the boards in, and if you want to make it a second layer, you just purchase another round of those stones that have those little slats in it that you just slide on top, so you can determine how deep you want your raised bed to be. And maybe in another video, I would talk to you about square foot gardening. When I said that in a raised bed, you could grow just as much food as a person in an in-ground garden because of the intensive planting. All right, so the choices are just it's out insane how many things that you can grow in a raised bed. All right, so that is the first option. If you have the space in your backyard for a raised bed, I have one raised bed in my front yard. All right, so you can use these raised beds. You know what? Let me show you intensive gardening in a small raised bed before we go to the next one. All right, now here's a smaller raised bed, and if you have seen my channel before, you know about what this is. These are carrots. Hold up, let me turn you around. I got carrots over here too, and I didn't thin these out, and I grew these in a way that I think is just the best, because I used to have a hard time growing these carrots. I'm gonna pull one of them out. I'm gonna see how big it is, but they shouldn't be that big just yet. All right, come on out. All right, so these carrots are real small still, so they still got ways to go, but you can have tons of carrots. If you want them to get real big, you can go ahead and thin them out when you plant them. But I just want to give you an idea of the intense planting that you can get from a raised bed garden. All right, look at that carrot. I know it's small, it's not ready yet, but I'm probably gonna eat it anyway. All right, the next method, if you don't have a big area or if you just want to start small, grow a little first, you can do container gardening. All right, now container gardening is real simple. All you do is take a drill and drill your drain holes in the bottom of the bucket, so when you water, you don't get your plants waterlogged. All right, so, and in this 5-gallon bucket, I probably will put, I'll just go ahead and have some fun, drill maybe 10 holes all the way through. And you can grow anything that anybody else can grow in their backyard. If I want to grow a watermelon plant, I can put it in here. If I want to grow tomatoes in the bucket, anything that you can grow in the ground, you can do it here. So if you have the apartment right here on the patio, go ahead and get your buckets ready. And you can go to a bakery. I go to a bakery to get my buckets. Now these are food grade buckets. Some people said they don't care if it's food grade or not, but I go ahead and get the food grade buckets. Now food grade bucket normally costs about $5-6. You go to a bakery, a lot of times they will give these for free. Now they're charging like $1 or $2, but $1 or $2 is better than $6 for a bucket. All right, so after you drill in the holes, I forgot to get some. You gotta get your soil. I use Black Cow. This is one of the soils that I've been using for a long time, but it's up to you which one you will use. After you drill the holes in, go ahead and put your soil all the way in, and then you go ahead, you either plant by seed or you can do it by transplants. All right, so that is real simple. I'm gonna give you another couple options. Now, if you're growing something like lettuce, you wouldn't put lettuce in a 5-gallon bucket, because lettuce doesn't need this much space. So I think that will be wasting that bucket. All right, so I got a smaller bucket, smaller container. This right here, this is my garlic that I planted a couple months ago. All right, so I do plant in containers. And one little thing, I know this is a extra piece, a bonus. I'm putting the garlic in my small containers. So once the season is up once the season starts for spring, I'm gonna move this around some of my plants that normally get bug pressure. The smell is gonna run them away. Use buckets, use containers. All right, and one other container that you can use, well, we call them grow bags. This is my first year growing in a grow bag. This is my pineapple plant. My pineapple plant, it stays inside because it's still wintertime. All right, so I can move them around, and that's the other benefit for your containers. If the wind is too bad, you're thinking it's gonna snap off, you can put them next to your house, or you can even bring them into your garage until the windstorm is over with. If it's too sunny, depending on what plant you have, you can go ahead and pick it up. It's mobile. You got a mobile garden. So if you have to move someplace, whoops, let me put this in the U-Haul, I'm good to go. All right, and lastly, you don't have to have anything expensive is what I'm trying to tell you, so that anybody can start this. I know some people use the little teeny kids pool in the spring and summertime, and they put holes in the bottom of it. I'm growing, I'm growing sugar cane in my house right now because it's too cold to grow outside. All right, so this is, I don't want to mess it up. This is my sugar cane. I got the other little nodes about to sprout up. So I do use containers, and it's pretty simple. Just find you a container, put holes in the bottom of it, and you good to go. All right, so if you're finding any value in these methods, give me a like, thumbs up, and if you want to know more information, think about subscribing. But I got one more for you. All right, so this is the one that I do a lot of. I got a food forest garden, so I garden in the ground a lot. But you see, I got these other methods that I use. I don't just use one method. All right, so with my in-ground method, if you can see, I have wood chips. Now, you don't need to have wood chips, but like I said earlier, I have a food forest for a garden. So what I have to do, I have to pull all my wood chips back. And my wood chips, they break down, and the stuff that we pay for, that black gold, that good compost, when it breaks down, that's what I have. So I'm changing the soil, and it's getting better and better every year. All right, but with this type garden, just talking about in-ground garden, all I got to do is, if you don't have wood chips, you just dig out your spot. So I normally put my in-ground garden in rows. My rows go probably about 3 feet apart, and I'm in my watermelon patch right now. I plant mine kind of close together, maybe they're 2 feet apart. All right, so I'm not a commercial gardener, so I don't have to go and spread out my rows 6 and 7 feet. I know some people do that, commercial gardeners, because they're trying to bring tractors and things like that. We're backyard gardeners, so we don't have to worry about that amount of space, because I don't have a tractor, wouldn't even need one for back here. But in-ground garden is great as well. And I like to plant in rows, but I also like to plant in the raised beds in these buckets. So these are some options that you could try. They're real simple. Putting the soil in your bucket, using the in-ground garden if you have space, but I know some people don't. But if you are in an apartment, like I said, you can grow food too, and you can grow a good bit of it. All right, so if you're thinking about gardening, make sure you do it, because it's a lot of fun and it's gonna keep you healthy, and that's what we want. All right, this is Bear Brown. Thanks for stopping by my channel. If you haven't subscribed, think about doing so, and I'll see you next time. And remember, grow something tasty.